Well, it's been a little bit, hasn't it? Even from the title, you'll see that, yeah, we've got some big changes happening, but also the amount of support and the amount of you guys that have reached out after we've finished traveling to see how we are, to see how we're coping, you know, just to see if we're okay is actually really lovely. And so many of you guys wanted an update. And we were going to do one for you sooner, but really we just wanted to test the waters a little bit more. And also now, some more big changes are happening. So I knew I was going to do this video and a bit of an update video for you guys. So I did ask on our social media if you had any questions. So I've got a couple that I want to go through first. And then I'm going to talk about what's going on in our lives, what big changes are about to happen, how we're all feeling after stopping traveling. I will also address, yes, TJ's not here. We're still together. He's just at work. He's away, FIFO, he's doing his thing. And we were going to wait till he got back to do this video, but the changes are pretty much going to be happening as soon as he's back. Hence why I'm doing this video alone. First of all, I will actually just say, I'm sorry if this offends anyone. It is early November. But we're in a house for the first time in, 3 years. But we just wanted to celebrate Christmas as early as we could. So we're one of those people that the kids went trick-or-treating October 31st, and then 1st of November the tree was up. So I apologise in advance, but we are just very happily enjoying a Christmas tree for the first time in, 3 years. So yes, sorry, but not sorry. Freddie is right here. I've made him a snack plate and he seems happy, so we're just going to roll with that. And Parker and Quinn are in school. So anyway, let's get these questions underway, and then let's update you with what's going on, how we're feeling, what changes are about to happen in our lives again. It's all happening. God. Anyway. Let's get a move on. So I've got all the questions here. I know I say this every time on like a Q&A, and I'm like, all right, let's do a speed round, and then I end up bloody talking for so long, but let's try. Okay, how do you afford buying after being out of the market, i.e. selling your house to afford to travel? If you watched us from the beginning, you would have seen that we sold our house to travel. And the main reason was because from the moment that TJ actually said, hey babe, do you want to go traveling, to the moment that we actually left was under 2 months. We hadn't saved for traveling, we hadn't saved for traveling, all that sort of stuff. And you know what, we could have waited, kept our house and saved, but really it was the perfect time for the kids. It would have taken us such a long time to save, to travel. Plus we wouldn't have done 3 years on the road. Like, there's no way without selling our house. It sucks that we have now stopped and we don't have our own house, but we have to remind ourselves that we would never have traveled in the first place. Definitely not for as long, and definitely not when we did it, without selling our house. So we know it's crappy, but we just wouldn't have been able to do it. The house prices have risen like crazy, hence why TJ is doing FIFO. It's the quickest way to get ourselves back up and running, and it is just what it is, and that's, we're going to spend a good couple of years getting ourselves back in front. So yeah, it sucks, but we just have to remind ourselves that, we would never have travelled, especially for 3 years, if we hadn't sold our house on the Gold Coast. We did it, no regrets. Yes, it sucks, but we got 3 years of travel out of it, and you just cannot buy that. Honestly, you just can't. Have you sold your van yet? I can't imagine how you are feeling. I'm struggling to settle down after 8 months. We haven't sold it, and I will go over that in a second. We had it up for sale. We were just waiting on getting a couple of small like warranty things done to it. Obviously, you know, if you watched our Gibbs series, we cracked our shower screen and just like little things like that we just wanted to get done before we sold it. Yeah, anyway, we did have it up for sale. It's no longer up for sale. Yeah, look, settling down after traveling, before we settled down, I talked to a lot of people who had been in that situation, who had traveled and then stopped and went back to, you know, quote unquote normal life. It's tough. It's honestly so tough. I have not been okay. I wanted to do this without crying. I feel like I've been crying since we stopped. Oh God. So we last left you pretty much in Windabandy, and that was middle of August. So now it's you know, middle of November, early November. So what's that? 3 months. It's been a lot. It has been a lot. And like I said, I talked to a lot of people about this. A lot of people that had been through it, wanted to get as much like insight as I could, because I was like, wow, it's about to be a massive change in our life. You know, 3 years on the road, 3 years of freedom, to then you're in one place, you've got a routine, you can't just up and leave if you want to. It's been a lot. It's been, I don't think a lot of people talk about it. And I understand, like, it's not, but I wish more people did, because I feel like it would help. I remember when we first left to go traveling, and I didn't really ever see much people saying they were struggling and stuff. You know, we had Freddie, he was 4 months old. I went through periods of really struggling with him on the road, and it just took me by surprise, because all I ever saw was people going, oh my God, it's the best life ever. And yeah, it is, it's amazing. But I came into traveling going, oh, it's going to be incredible 24/7. But you still do have like a normal, you know, normal life happens, right? You still have children and ups and downs and all this stuff. And so anyway, this is why I kind of just wanted to talk about this as well and update everyone on, you know, how we're feeling. Like, TJ, he loved traveling and he'd love to keep doing it for longer, but he's definitely got his mindset on, right, this is now the next step of our life. Let's really buckle down. Let's get our own house again. You know, let's get a piece of land, like all this sort of stuff. He's really in the mentality now of like, that's okay. Like that traveling part, like that full-time traveling part is of our life is, you know, that's it. And he's, you know, work driven and all that sort of stuff. So he's feeling okay about it all. Parker and Quinn, they love being at school. They absolutely love it. And they love being in a house and having their own room and all of that sort of stuff. They really love it. Freddie, he just loves the space. They play hide and seek in the house every single day. They're running around, aren't you, buddy? Come here for a sec. I'm going to cuddle you. Come here. Do you love being in a house?
Yeah.
What do you love most about being in a house? What do you like to play the most?
Hide and seek.
Hide and seek!
Yeah.
Do you miss everyone off YouTube?
No.
No. Can you say bye? Say hi and bye.
Bye, hi.
Bye, hi. Look how much he's grown. Anyway, he's loving it. He's going to pre-kindy. every week. So yeah, he's loving it. I have honestly just struggled the most. And there's a mixture of feelings with that. There's a mixture of, yes, TJ is doing FIFO. He's doing 3 weeks away, 1 week at home, which I think for anyone would be hard. But I feel like it's particularly hard because we've been traveling and in each other's pockets for 3 years, pretty much, to then him being gone for 3 weeks at a time and only back for 1 week, you know. And we understand there's why we're doing it. We understand why we're doing it because it's the fastest way to earn incredible money, to get ourselves back up and running. You know, we've just spent 3 years on the road. We've spent a lot of money, but it doesn't make it any easier. It's really, really, really tough. If I'm going to be very, very honest with you, I went through a period of just crying every single day. I've not been happy. I really haven't. It's a lot of changes all at once. You know, moving to a completely different state. You don't have any of your friends or family nearby. Although we love this area, you know, it doesn't compensate from having, you know, loved ones nearby. We've also just gone from traveling to not traveling. So we've gone from having freedom to honestly just being in a routine. You wake up every single day in the same spot. We know what tomorrow brings. You know, traveling, you didn't know what tomorrow could bring some days, and I know what tomorrow brings. And that's tough. That is honestly tough. And also TJ being away, that's tough too. So if you're going through this as well, I feel you, because if you love traveling, you love the freedom, then going back to, you know, normality and routine and stuff, I feel like would be really hard. Anyway, that was a very long-winded side of that question, but yeah, honestly, it's hard to settle down. I've talked to people that, you know, settled down 12 months ago, 2 years ago, and they still find that hard because it's going from pretty much 24/7 holiday for however long to just, you know, being back in a house and normal jobs, and I feel like as well, yes, I'm finding it hard because TJ is FIFO, but I feel like even if you know, your family is still all together in the one spot, I feel like it would still be hard to adjust because you know, if you're both going to separate jobs throughout the day, you know, your kids are going to school and stuff like that, you've just spent all this time traveling together and then you're all apart again. How did you pick where you'd stop to live? We knew we wanted to stop in WA just because we love WA. We still wanted to travel. We wanted to go North WA. We love, you know, Exmouth and all that, but too hot for us. Honestly, it is. We were up there in winter and it was beautiful. It was like 30 degrees. But summer, I can't. I can't. I'm English. I can't do that. But it's too hot. So we're in Southwest WA and we love it. And we just love the spot that we're in. So we just went off how we felt about a place, and hence why we're here. The amount of times we'd go on to realestate.com while we're in a town because we're just like, it's amazing. How are you finding meeting new people or making friends in a new town? Bloody hard. Honestly, hard. We've been here since September, so 2 months. I've met obviously some of Parker and Quinn's school mums, and Freddie, he goes to like pre-kindy, like a little group. Meet people, but do you know what? It's funny. I find that making friends on the road, oh gosh, it was easier than anything ever. And I've always found that making friends as adults to be quite hard, you know, especially when you've got kids in the mix and you've got busy lives and stuff. On the road, traveling, wow, like you can make friends so quickly and really, really good bonds as well. Like we ended up traveling for quite a while with a few different families, but I feel like in real life, it's so tough. It's tougher than, if you've traveled, you'll know what I mean. It's easy to make friends on the road, and then coming back to normal life, and you know, you just have a routine and a schedule it's hard. But hey, yeah, it is what it is. But The people here are lovely. Everyone is so friendly, and it's really, really lovely. How did you start fresh in a new location, like a job, house, process, etc.? Want to move east, but don't know where to start. Look, it was easy for us because TJ was he'd already got a FIFO job. So honestly, we could just pick wherever, really. It's tough. It is tough though, being completely in a new town and you don't know. You just don't know what it's going to be like till you're there as well. Like if you've never been there before and it's not the next suburb over or something. But yeah, it's hard to start over. It is. And as much as, we've been traveling for 3 years. Yes, we've seen our family here and there in that 3 years. And I didn't think it was going to hit me as much, settling down where our family wasn't. Because I haven't seen them for the last 3 years really, like on and off, the Christmases and stuff, but not as much as normal. So I thought, like it's gonna pretty much be the same. It's not. I miss my family so much. We miss TJ's family so much. They're all over east. We're now, we're in WA. It's hard. Being, in a house and you want to have, family over and stuff like that. And I thought I didn't think it was going to impact me so much because, it's kind of been our life for the last 3 years to not be around family. So that's hard. But I feel like if you're going to start new anywhere, it's just going to be tough regardless. Finding a job and finding the right suburb in the town and stuff. And, I don't know. It's tough. I don't know, it's a massive process. But the only way you're going to know if it's right for you is just to do it, honestly. And that's, we didn't know if this was going to work for us either. So, we just had to jump and do it and then you'll find out. How did you budget or receive an income on the road? We did not budget. Unfortunately, do you know what? I don't know what, for the first time in our life, we had freedom of just, like a 24/7 holiday. It was incredible. And we treated it like a holiday, our first lap, and we were just going crazy. We were just going to all the breweries. We were going to, it was just endless. We just ate out everywhere. It was wild. We didn't have a budget. We moved pretty quickly, I'd say. If we had slowed down, we hadn't, gone crazy in every single town and went to all the breweries and, all the things, and we would have been a lot better with our money. We definitely budgeted this last year. It can get away from you, I feel like, because you're on a holiday, right? It feels like you're on a holiday. What do you do on a holiday? You go out, you go to restaurants, you go grab a drink, and you go and enjoy yourself instead of actually thinking it's a lifestyle. Anyway, so we didn't have a budget the first lap. Look, YouTube brought in a little bit of income, which was fantastic. And then TJ would stop every so often and he'd work. There is always work. If you're not picky, there is work around Australia. If you're willing to slow down on the road, stop in towns and work for a little bit, then go to the next town and stop again, and you can make it work that way. It's obviously, you won't be doing the 12-month lap as such and just, getting it all done in 12 months. It might take a little bit longer because you're stopping and working and stuff, but most towns we went to were looking for people. We wish we'd budgeted from the start. We had the best time ever. But we did use a lot of our money. Are you still going to have your own YouTube channel? I have fully recorded and done multiple episodes of us coming into this house and, moving in and doing all that sort of stuff. I will go through in a minute when I give you our little update of why I haven't done anything with that yet, why I haven't uploaded anything yet. But I have definitely recorded a lot. But there's a reason, so I'll get back to that. Oh, yum, you've eaten all of that? Grapes, strawberries, pretzels? How much money do you think you need to head off for a year? Look, honestly, I reckon 1,500 a week is doable. So, is that I can't, quick math, what's that, 70 a year? Oh, 78, not too far off, Leah. So about that. So I reckon 1,500, this all depends on if you're going to go to caravan parks or if you're going to try and stay off grid, and how slow and how fast you're traveling. If you travel slow and you go off grid, you could be doing it a lot cheaper than, you know, going to caravan parks and moving fast. But look, it is what it is. Fuel on the road is very expensive. Caravan parks on the road are very expensive. Anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 a week. With food, fuel, accommodation. There's so many variables, so it's a really tough one to say. How are you all feeling about settling in WA away from the family? Yeah, like I've touched on, it's hard. It's really, really tough actually. Got to get a plane from the East Coast over here. Like it's such a, it's a lot. It's a lot. Did you have savings for the trip? No. Literally, like I said, it was 2 months, it was less than 2 months from the moment that TJ said, hey babe, do you want to travel? Because we had never thought about it before. He was literally watching Now or Never's video about something about, I think they were talking about, was their house their forever house? And they were like, well, no, let's go traveling or something like that. And I came home one day and he's like, oh, how about we go traveling? And we had never ever talked about it beforehand, and it was like such a shock. Hello, Bubby. So yeah, no, we didn't have savings, but luckily the housing market went crazy and we were able to sell our house and have quite a good amount of money there to help with our travels. So yeah, we just got very lucky. Do you regret leaving Queensland, and what area would you consider buying your next home? I'm going to address this question in a second. So last one was, where did you end up settling in WA and how are the kids going with school? Kids, they just love it. They love school. While we went travelling as well, they did a couple of months in 2 different schools, and they loved it as well. Hence why they wanted to stop traveling and go back to school, because they loved it. They loved being with, you know, the same friends every single day and having that close, you know, bond with people. So they love being in school. They're very good at adapting and just meeting friends, and that all comes from, you know, they've been to a couple of schools now and you know, traveling as well and just meeting people all the time. So, you know, they went to the school here. The first day they came back and they were like, we all made like fantastic friends. They've got their own groups of friends, and that all happened on the first day, and I couldn't have been happier. They love it, and they've already, you know, been around to their friends' houses and stuff like that, and they just love it. We're in Southwest WA. You know, a lot of people have asked us particularly where we are, like the actual spot, and look, I know you guys are lovely, but the internet's a weird place, so we won't be saying where we are while we're here. But yeah, Southwest WA, we absolutely love it. We love this spot. There's so many beautiful like beaches and stuff around, you know, like it's just, it is so amazing. Let's get into what's happening in our lives. What are the big changes? All of that sort of thing. We all know I've struggled. I've really struggled with stopping, with TJ working away. You know, I love being in a house. I love the space. But I'm lonely. I'm honestly lonely. Obviously with TJ doing FIFO, I am so bloody lonely. Never been this lonely in my whole life. Yeah, kids are loving it, but they miss daddy like a lot. Like it's obviously for them, it's a huge change as well, from being with each other pretty much all the time to them not seeing their daddy for 3 weeks at a time is a lot. Okay, so the title pretty much says it all. Back into the caravan. All right, so the big changes in our life are about to happen. Pretty much literally around the corner. It's happening quickly. We are leaving WA. We are leaving this house. It's been rented back out, and we are going to go live with TJ back in the caravan. Back where he is working, and no, we're not traveling full time or anything like that. Yes, we'll still head away on little holidays and stuff, but yeah, it's we're going back in the caravan, out of the house again, selling all the furniture. Luckily I got most of it off Marketplace, but yeah, a lot of it's already actually gone. Like we bought a big fridge and like stuff like that, and anyway, yeah, we're going back with TJ. I look, since traveling, it's really made us realize how short life is. First of all, I think we all know that. I think until you go through certain things in life, or you lose certain people, and you just honestly just don't know what's around the corner. And honestly, we're just making decisions based off our happiness. Like, it's no secret, I've said to you guys how unhappy I've been. The kids as well. We sat down, Parker and Quinn, and like, of course, like Freddie's not even 4 yet. Like, he'll be happy wherever, you know, he's not at a school or whatever yet. We had a good chat with the kids, and they just really want to go live with Daddy again. So that's what's happening. We furniture's all going, the house is going. We will be making our way back to New South Wales from WA. So we're going to be doing like a bit of a 3-4 week traveling spree over to New South Wales. So we're very, very excited about that. So luckily we didn't sell the caravan. We had it for sale, and it just worked out the way we needed it to work out. So we're going to go live back in the caravan. The kids will be going to a new school next year. Look, it's not ideal. You know, we've just spent a lot of time, a lot of money getting into the house and doing all that. But like I said, if we're not happy, we're not happy. And we definitely make decisions on, you know, on our happiness. And I kind of feel a bit annoyed that I'm like, oh God, like I honestly thought I'd be okay with a FIFO life. I thought, it'd be a bit of a change. It'd be good because we're in a new town. We'll have a house. It'd be so lovely. But once you're in a house and and then you get a dishwasher and you get a sofa and all the things you missed from traveling, that then becomes normal again. And you're kind of like, oh, okay, yep, I've got that now. Oh, I still miss my husband. And me and TJ are people that can be with each other 24/7. So I don't want to be without him. I don't want to, I don't need time away from him. We want each other close. And luckily, with his job, we're able to go and live with him. There's one thing I've learned from traveling. If you don't love your job, change your job. If you don't love where you're living, change where you're living. And we never would have known if it was going to work or not unless we did it. So as much as I'm like, oh, it's so frustrating. Like we've spent a lot of money, with a lot of time, getting furniture and all that sort of stuff and making this a place that we love. To then just get rid of it all and move back in the caravan. But if we hadn't have done that, I would never have known if it was right for us or not. And then I would have lived with, the regret of, oh, why didn't we try and stay in WA? Or why didn't we, do all, I don't live like that. I can't live like that. I try something. If I don't love it, I move on. And that's very much how I live. We are very excited about moving back with TJ. Not having to live the proper FIFO life anymore. He was doing 3 and 1. He is doing 3 and 1. So he's away for 3 weeks. We end up, counting down the days. Poor Quinn and Parker. Freddie's just a little bit like, when's Daddy home? A bit chilled about it. But, me, Parker and Quinny, we're really struggling. We count down literally the days. We're like, right, TJ's back in this many days, 19, 17, And then it comes to him being back, and he's back for a week, and we are literally counting down those days until he goes again. So it just was like, oh, it's a lot. Anyone living FIFO life, hats off to you. It's just, oh, it's so incredibly tough. It's so incredibly tough for the people that are at home. With the children and doing, that life, and, the partners that are working away and living away from their family. It's just It's such a hard life. It honestly is. So that goes into one of the questions that was asked. Why haven't I done YouTube? Why haven't I utilized that new channel? Because so many of you guys went over and you subscribed, which is so lovely. Like I said, I recorded everything. I recorded us coming into the house and doing all that sort of stuff. I reckon I've got like 4 or 5 episodes. But I hadn't got around to editing yet. And then once we made this once we made this decision, I was kind of like, is it actually worth showing those videos? I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Like, I don't know. I'm happy to edit them and just show you them.
I don't have any more.
You don't have any more food? You've got some pretzels there, darling. Oh, you don't want any more? Are you full? Okay. So yeah, I'm happy to, look, if enough people say, yeah, I'd love to watch it, I will happily edit them and put them on the channel, because yeah, it was a great insight into like getting into a house after traveling and furnishing a house and like all the feelings of TJ being away. Like I documented everything. So I'm very happy to share that, but I didn't know whether I should, you know what I mean? Because we're now going into the caravan, and that part of our life's kind of, it's just going to be changed. It's just going to change, isn't it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. How do the children feel? Yeah, they feel fantastic about, they're going to miss a house. That is the main thing. They don't mind changing schools, but they just want to be with daddy so bloody badly, as we all do. They're just going to miss having their own space in a house and being able to spread out, because that in itself, now we've got used to that. You know, we've been in the house for a good, couple of months. That's going to be tricky, readjusting back into caravan life. You know, we're going to try and get a full annex and stuff for the outside of the caravan, just so we've got a proper, outside area as well. So we've got 2 big living areas, because I feel like after being in a house, we're going to feel like we want a little bit more space. Will you ever travel full time again? Unless the kids miraculously tell us that they are over school and they want to go traveling again, probably not. Yes, we're going to do like, weeks here, months here, whatever, whatever trips and stuff. But for now, no, not until the kids are older and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, like I said, we had 3 years. We got 3 years out of them, and we are forever grateful that we just had the best 3 years of our life. All right, back to the question of where you're going to buy one day, and do we regret leaving Queensland? We regret not being near family. Our family's all in Queensland. We regret. We love WA. We love that we gave it a chance, but
Mommy, I need a poo.
Go to a poo. Look, yeah, Queensland's our home state, so look, we love it. There's so many beautiful spots there. I remember when we were stopping traveling, we were like, if we were stopping and going back to Queensland, I don't think we would have been as happy as stopping in WA. Our priorities have definitely changed since stopping traveling. As much as we would love to explore WA and keep exploring WA, being so far away from family is huge. And we would love to find some land somewhere in Queensland, we think. So from when we leave here, we'll be going over to New South Wales over like the Christmas period. Look, we debated whether we were going to video it for YouTube, and I think we normally would have, but I feel like because TJ's been away now for a little bit, we really just want to really spend good quality time with each other, be really present. As you can probably imagine, YouTube does take up a lot of time, not just the editing side of things, but obviously filming lots of content, because what you see in a video, there's still lots of other content that maybe didn't make the video, so you are forever filming. We're not going to film it this time on YouTube, but I will be doing it on social media, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. That does not take up hardly any of my time. Plus, I'd like to have that there, and photos and videos and stuff there for, our own memories of going back, that way. So if you aren't on Instagram or Facebook, I will link them below in the description. So go over and and go and follow us over there, and you can still follow, you know, some of our travels and stuff like that. At least we've updated you now. Now that, you know, now that this has been posted, I can talk more openly on, you know, Instagram and Facebook about it all and stuff, because I really just wanted to do it justice and come on here and actually say how we're really feeling. How is it stopping traveling and going back to normal life, and how do kids really feel with it? You know, do they love it? Like, you know, if you have to go back to FIFO life after you've been traveling, because yeah, it's the best way to earn a really good income and, you know, set yourselves back up and stuff. But how are you going to feel about that? And there was a lot to it that I just wanted to really sit down. Hence why I've said this video was going to be really short, and it's not. So if you're still here, thank you so much. We don't mind change. Obviously, we've changed a lot about our lives the last 3 years. I feel like, you know, before traveling, I would never have gone, right, let's just up and leave and go to a different state and stuff like that. But since traveling, I've just realized that, you know, if you want to do something, do it. If you're not happy, change it. And that's what we're doing. It is what it is. Happiness is honestly life. And if you're not happy doing something, change it. That's my motto. I got through most of that without crying, which I'm quite glad about. I just know how hard it's been, and it's been tough. But anyway, I will see you maybe in the next video, but definitely over on Instagram and Facebook if you want to keep up to date with what we're doing and all of that stuff. But anyway, thank you very much, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.